Hey, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, Nightly Strategy Podcast live for March 22nd, 2023. I solved the microphone problems by going to buy an inexpensive Logitech headset, and then the other microphone wanted to work all of a sudden, but I'm not going to use it tonight because that'll teach them a lesson. So, coming from University of Pittsburgh, full day at work here, talking about creativity, critical thinking, adult education, professional standards training, the development of craft knowledge, the experiential knowledge base that allows us to make claims that teaching is possible. Why do you think that? Do you think that knowledge, in particular, can be taught? What's the evidence for it? And so that's what this conference is about here: business simulations and experiential learning. This organization pioneered the use of computer simulations in business schools and marketing schools and executive education. And we've expanded to include now other forms of experiential learning beyond just computer sims. So, narrative inquiry, storytelling, group work, um, artful judgment, reflective learning of the kind that master craftsmen do that transcends simple and easy certifications. That's the kind of things we're talking about. I gave my little keynote speech on creativity and true storytelling. I'm going to upload our creativity check-in that I just did that had referenced a lot of that material. I think you may find to be of interest. But meanwhile, we'll jump right into the swing trade work today and hit the ones where we made decisions or opened or closed positions or both in the swing trade on a Fed day. So we'll start just at the top, Alcoa. We had started a swing trade on the 20th with the at the close of the day, uh, looking to front run a COTA 2. We got lucky with a gap up and a nice closure, and then today it started selling off in anticipation of the Fed, and so we got out of that early in the day. I missed the swing opportunity intraday short, and then also the follow-on short in Alcoa. Um, but in Caterpillar, after the Fed and everything was tanking, we did get the initiate a position short in Caterpillar when the RL10 rolled over and crossed the dragon, and we lucked into a nice last hour of the day that closed very poorly down here at 219. So that one could be a candidate for a lot more moves tomorrow. It has a long way to fall. Cliff was one where we also had done the morning hook, and then we ended up closing it today as everything started selling in the morning. And this is the one where after the spike up in the Fed and then the cross back down below the dragon and the R10 rolling over, that's where we took that trade and held that one overnight. It closed very poorly, and we got about 3R in our advantage. That's one that I'll look to add a second position on. This was the close trade here. This was basically a scratch. CVS was one in the morning. There was a big run up and then started selling. So we took the short at the 123 low. Then going into the Fed announcement, it was failing hard. The Fed bounce and then refailure was not enough to get us out of the position. And then the big sell-off would really turn that into a lucrative short that I think there's more room tomorrow because it's going to test the swing low. And if 74 breaks, man, that thing could be huge. Huge. Look how bad that is in the larger context. There's no support in sight. That's what a Godzilla continuation looks like, and we're on the right side of the angels on that one. Devon Energy was we closed that one yesterday. Today we waited, and energy started selling off hard after the Fed, so we took that one when it crossed the dragon normal position. Uh, Electronic Arts has been sideways and monkeying around for 2 days, and we had a chance to get out of the scratch. We did. Ethereum, There's there was an intraday bump on that one for about half an hour. It was just fun money, really. EWW Mexico. So we closed the swing that we started yesterday after a nice long grind, and we just took the PSAR exit, and that gave us about 3R. It missed this sell-off. I think that's one that could also get smoked tomorrow. EWZ was a intraday RLXD, and I look at that as a SSC or a COTA 2. And then it had such an amazing run up and then started selling right away. I just decided to cash one and be happy with it. Intel, we basically scratched yesterday's SSC. Nothing happened after we were almost an hour and a half in hand, and finally I had to get out at a scratch. I should have gotten out a little bit sooner. International paper, intraday early, we started the short on the COTA 2 and the RLXD and the PSAR flip, and then that just got progressively worse all day and closed poorly, so we're holding about 2R in hand, and the gap has already closed, and so there's a good shot at that getting down to 33.5. IYR initiated the short at the close because this has been nothing but suffering, and it's at the end of a long sell-off, well below support levels. So this one's in good shape for big failure tomorrow. KRE was we closed the speculative long overnight, basically a scratch, and then initiated the stop and reverse later in the day, and the Fed bump did hardly nothing to it, and it closed very poorly. And if that breaks below 43, look out below. Regional banks. Marijuana was just a scratch and a micro loss on that speculative play from yesterday. Nothing happened, so we just got out of it. Clean energy, we initiated after the Fed spike, and this has been on the wrong end of a big sell-off as well, and starting to fail. And now I'm looking for it to get down to the 30-day low down in here. This closed very poorly, and we're about 2R in hand. More pain and suffering to come. Rivian started the short at the end of the day. Lots of room to fail. Routine. Treasuries was a long slide that I missed, but this morning was an SSC, and while everything else was selling off, it was rallying from 104, and I like the way that closed, and we're holding about 2R and more to come. Tesla was a capture. There was really not the follow through I wanted, and rather than let that go flat, we decided to take it at the PSAR flip, and those were the trades in the swing patterns. Here's the sniper trade of the day, intraday. Let me clear that out. So this is Alcoa on the 3 minutes, and started off with the OR3 and short, and then was late getting out of that after it crossed the PSAR for half an hour loss. I stopped and reversed. Take another half hour loss, so we're down about 1. That's a stop and reverse. Second position on the collapsing dragon. Routine exit, and that's 2R on the first one, 1R on the second one, total of 3R, and -1 from the first two, so we're about net 2 for the day. Missed the short, missed the SSC, but now we're entering the Fed land, and there was nothing compelling on this that I felt I could trade, except for this was the one that we ended up with that became, after the Fed announcement, this is the one that was became the swing trade to hold overnight when it collapsed and closed poorly. So sniper trade of the day, finally got on the right side, got two positions in, stayed out of the Fed, and had good fortune in the last hour to take advantage of some gains. Let's find the traders now. All right, Agnieszka on the euro British, whoops, sorry about that. Euro British pound. Um, 2.3 on this the Z3 excursion after the pinch. And it just follows through nicely. Perfect exit. Re-entry for a quick exit. Re-entry for a quick scratch and pulls out 1.9. Um, I don't know. That as tight as that, that's about as I think as quick an exit as you could take, and that's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Euro Canadian. The Z3 pinch occurred down in here. She waits for this second kata 2, initiates standard risk, makes a nice exit at the edge of the or in the spine of the dragon for another 1.2. Well done. This is Arch on the let's see, gold US dollar. Missed the initial opening. I like the kata 2 entry. On this excursion, when you see 3 rising lows in a row, I like that exit right here at the edge of the dragon instead of waiting. There's not that much difference, but I would rather take the earlier piece. I like this one after it comes out of the chop. Good exit. I'd stop and reverse there. Or here, or here, or here. Wherever the confirmation of the RL10 rolling over and hitting a PSAR, there was some extra goodness. Still 1.1, still pretty good, and we wouldn't be wrong on that. This is yesterday's. Um, I think we already saw that. I'm sorry, 21 from Woj. He double posted. This is Arch with the dollar yen, and I'm looking for his where his trade is. Oh, this looks like an entry about here, and then a sell-off to here. Or I'm sorry, it was short here. I think that's late. I think you got to catch that coming out of the dragon, and then you won't lose money on the trade. You should be exiting somewhere in here in the dragon. Then I think you can enter the kata 2 here instead of here, but that's still pretty good. This was a stop and reverse off of this short, and you can't let that one go negative. After being plus 0.3, you can't let it go negative. But stop and reverse. Now you got those 2 little dragon horns, and you let that come all the way back to here for a scratch when you were holding probably 1R. So we got to get that at the edge of the dragon. So you have the 2 dragon horns, and then it doesn't go further. 3 doji or 2 dojis, and then the R10 rolls over. You can take it right there and make some money on that trade. And then this should be a short either here or here for this whole move. It looks like you did get short there. That's good. After this excursion, there's a 1, 2, 3. I'd like to exit right there instead of here. Take the bird in the hand, and that would make that probably 1.5 R. Still, net positive for the day. Here's Arch on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. I like this effort. I get out sooner. I like this short. I like the scratch, believe it or not, but I would like the re-entry here. You won't lose money on that. Here's a kata 2 when it crosses the dragon. This is a kata 2 that's late to enter. I would get out of this sooner on the first. That was the high, and then it immediately started selling at the dragon. Then you could be short either here or here, and then you get paid in 3 powerful legs down. Devon Energy, Tesla did nothing all day after the gap, and Devon Energy didn't really do anything either, so no surprises there. Great move here on NVIDIA, and I like making bank there, and you netted 1 for the whole day, and there's just nothing moving at all in U.S. Steel. Quick look at the reports now. Let's see, get the zoom on here. Still sideways normal. The 2-day sell-off is got us back in the red. Risk Z is warning us to the downside. Plenty of auto framers on the upside to contend with. Some 5DDs though in IBM and small caps and in is it Procter? No, Pfizer. Sorry. And then big up move in Nvidia. That's some real juice in Nvidia. In the ETFs, handful of auto framers. The only significant sell-off out of range was IYR to the short side. That's why I love having that as a short position with money in hand. Auto framer for mechanical traders. No swings that better than 2 to 1. A lot of good Godzilla still in play in the S&P 500 and Rivian in the tactical. That's why I'm short that still. And then just reference stats for the trader. You see how broad the sell-off was today with very few positive signs except maybe Apple and Microsoft. And then in the ETFs, it's gold, silver, treasuries, and oil. So it's everything else just getting obliterated. Trading value, top 10, or top 20 based on large average range percentage. So it gives you the size of the daily volatility and then the consistency of a strong frog number. Taken together, those give you the trading value ratio. And then we rank that, and then the top 5. Tesla, marijuana, clean energy, Devon, Nvidia. That's why we're trading those hard on the swing and the intraday. All right, that's everything I got for you. Back to work. Be talking some more at Pitt, and I want you to strongly recommend that you listen to the coaching extract I did tonight, where I was talking about, in a general way, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, the flywheel effect, the power of working together with people that you trust, who tell the truth, and are devoted to the thriving of all the people. That's where a real competitive advantage. You don't wait for things to go bad before you do that. You actively encourage the creation of that kind of accountable community group mastermind, which is what we got going on here, I think. So you need to figure out how to leverage that for your own use. And that's what I talk about tonight in the coaching session with the Creativity 202 guys, which I'll make available to you. So take good care. We'll catch you tomorrow, and see you on the high ground. Keep your wrists measured and powder dry.